We see you have dragged your physical bodies here, but there are far more of you gathered from non-physical perspective than here in your physical form. Do you recognize that you are so much more than what you see here in these beautiful bodies? Do you remember that you are source energy projected here? You have become very good at your physicalness, you know. You are interpreting your physical time-space reality with such precision as you see with your eyes and hear with your ears and smell and taste and touch. You are very good at your vibrational interpretation. So good, in fact, you don't know you're doing it. You think that this real life experience, as you describe it, is real life experience. You think that it is the tangible thing that you see it as, while we want you to know that it is your interpretation. We are not wanting to leave you in an unsettled place, but you know how you dream and you see with your eyes closed. You are interpreting vibration, and it is playing before you in imagery that you call dream state. And you don't call that real life experience, you call it dream state. But it is not so different from this clearer perspective that you have that you call physical reality. You are source energies, and you project part of that consciousness into this physical time-space reality for the purpose of the precision of this environment helping you to fine-tune your creation. You are creator. That is the best description of that which you are. You are creator. Creators in an environment that helps you to create. And what better environment of creating than an environment with such diversity, so many different things to observe and participate in and create from. As you explore your environment and you know what you don't want, it helps you to identify more what you do want. And most of our physical friends, you have brought yourself somehow to a sort of humble attitude of self, because while you are deciphering all day, every day, from this time-space reality that you are focused in, your personal preferences, you don't take much stock in the personal preferences that are born out of your participation. But the source within you does. You know that you are extensions of source, or you're coming to remember it. You are source energy before you came forth into this physical body. And many say, well, I sort of get that. There must have been something before this. And many of you believe or hope that there will be something beyond this. But there are not so many of you who are consciously aware that at the same time that you are focused here in this physical body, there is a larger part of you focused in non-physical. In the same way that the electricity flows through your walls, and then you plug your toaster in, and your toaster toasts, but the electricity does not come forth and be a toaster. The source that is you does not come forth and be you. The source of you remains the source of you, while you are the extension of that source. And there is nothing more delicious in all of experience than to be consciously aware of these two distinct aspects of that which you are, with a keen intention from your physical format of blending the two. Nothing is more delicious than to be physically focused out here on this leading edge, deliberately tuning yourself to the vibration of your source. Because when you do that, the whole of you then has the experience. When you are in your most joyful moment, that means you have somehow, some way, adjusted the vibrational nature of your physical beingness to attune to the vibration of that source within you. And in that attunement, in that alignment, there is no separation between you and you. And when there is no separation between you and you, the experience you are having is glorious. You would call it, I'm in love, or you would say, I am filled with appreciation or joy. You would feel eagerness and passion. There's that friskiness that is only present when you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on to who you really are. So from this non-physical source energy perspective, it is not as most humans think. So many say, well, there is dead and there is alive. And we say there is alive and there is alive. There is not that which you call death. And so when you understand that from that source energy perspective, You are always having life experience. And from that source energy perspective, you made a decision to project part of your consciousness here into this physical body, and splat, here you are. And so here you are in your physicalness, exploring, knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want. And when you are able to identify whether you speak it or not, and you can't help but identify it because life itself helps you to, when you identify by knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want, as you identify these preferences or desires, what happens is they exude forth from you. We call them rockets of desires because they literally radiate from you. Your rockets of desires move forth from you, and the source within you, we're not kidding you even a little bit, follows that rocket and never ceases to focus upon it. In other words, the source within you, when you identify a preference or a desire, the source within you gives undivided attention to that newly expanded version of you. When we say you are the creator of your own reality, what we really mean in the truest base essence of the idea is that you are the creator of the vibrational point of attraction that is you. In other words, you create your own reality because you give forth thoughts, and the thoughts vibrate, and law of attraction responds to the thought. But you are not alone here in your physical body in this law of attraction's response to that which you are, because there is this larger part of you that remains non-physical, that law of attraction is always responding to. And if we can get across to you in a way that you can really hear it and hold it within you, that this source energy part of you, that a part of it is projected and has become you, as you give birth to these new rockets of desires, those rockets go forth and are tended to, they are held by that source energy part of you. There is a veritable vortex that is created as you are constantly asking for yet more refinement of what you would consider to be a better experience. The expansion and evolution of all species occurs in just that way. Because Source knows that there is no one who would know better what is now preferred than the likes of you who are out here on the leading edge. You've not been sent forth from the superior source to humbly catch up with what source already is. You are the leading edge, most extension of that which is source. You are like pioneers that have come out into this new space with these new experiences, exposing yourself to that which is new and coming to new conclusions about what would be better life experience. So as you emanate this preference, Source knows that there is no one who would know better than you about what is preferred by you. And the source within you then becomes that vibrational equivalent of what you have asked for. So usually, not known to you is a culminating of newness that is as a result of what you've been living. We are calling this newness, this preceding energy of that which is you, we are calling it your vibrational escrow. Because we want you to get the sense that it is your future experience that is being pre-paved energetically by you. You chose it, and Source backed it up completely. And because law of attraction, this most powerful law that is responding to all vibrations, this law that manages everything, is now responding to this powerful vortex that you have been creating since you got here. Oh, you didn't just start it. It was well underway when you made the decision to come. But you've been contributing to it all day, every day since. And so this expanding version of you, law of attraction, is now responding to it. And what that means to you is there is this summoning of the rest of you back to that which you have become. Do you sort of kind of get that? In other words, you are this powerful energy. You came forth to continue the creation. The time-space reality that you specifically are choosing here causes you to give birth to yet more expansion. The source energy part of you then holds to those new ideas, and law of attraction responding to that causes a sensation of a powerful stream that is moving toward the completion of all things asked for. Do you understand that this planet upon which you live was at one time only an idea? An idea that was thought about, first conceived, thought about? And do you understand that now that you are living upon it, you are contributing to the ideas of the expanding of it? This is not a dwindling planet. This is not an environment that is becoming less than. It didn't peak out some time ago and now it is declining into nothingness. You are an expanding being and you live in an expanding environment. And all that is backing you. The resources of Source are unlimited. And so when you begin to understand that we are all in this together and that the non-physical part, can you feel this powerful you that has been being long before you knew you as you? Can you feel it? And sometimes as you recognize it, we want to say to you that this source energy part of you, which part of you do you think is the larger part? The non-physical part? Or the physical part? Esther always gives it away with her interpretation of what we mean here. But this non-physical part of you, this huge, eternal, swirling part of you, and then here you are. And not to diminish or minimize that which you are essential to the expansion of all that is. You are pioneers out here on the leading edge. But law of attraction is responding to both aspects of you. This part of you and this part of you. This physical part of you. And if you will allow yourself to go with the flow of who you really are, you will experience joy. And if you don't, it doesn't feel so good. We want to point out to you that because of law of attraction's response to this powerful energy field that has been established before you came forth into this body and that you've been contributing mightily to ever since, because of the power of this vortex, when you don't relax and allow yourself to go with the flow of who you are, you feel a tension within you that is described by negative emotion. The worse you feel, the more you are pulling against this natural current. The better you feel, the more you are in the flow of this natural current. You see how it works? Love and joy and appreciation, passion, all of those feelings that feel so high and happy, all of those feelings are you in this moment holding a thought which causes you to activate a vibration. You could say you're beating the drum of something that is such a perfect match to who you really are that there is no resistance within the field of you. In other words, you are allowing alignment when you feel good. But if you are beating the drum of something, there's not enough of this, or that person is inappropriate, or I don't know what to do, or I'm afraid of this, or I don't have enough of something. When you beat the drum of those things that is so foreign to the vibration of who you are who is unlimited and loving and knowing and worthy and knowing it is worthy, when you are beating a drum in opposition to that which you really are, you feel the discord within you. And that's what negative emotion is. It's your magnificent, precise, in the moment, in every moment guidance that lets you know the vibrational vicinity of you. It lets you know whether you are offering a thought that contains a vibration that is emanating to the boundaries of the universe that matches who you really are or not. In other words, you are a lover. Who you really are is one who loves. And when you find something in your physical environment that you deem abhorrent, and you look at it, and rather than loving it, you hate it or you fear it, as you hold your attention upon it for not very long, 17 seconds is quite enough, as you give your attention to this unwanted thing and activate therefore within yourself, your physical self, a vibration about this thing you do not want, this thing you do not love, this thing that by your words you hate or despise, as you hold yourself there, you separate yourself, too strong a word, but you get the point. You set up resistance to who you really are. Because the source within you will never focus upon that negative aspect. Source will not join you in your negativity. That's why negative emotion exists. Sometimes you say, Esther says it to us rather frequently. Oh, Abraham, come on. You got to give me this one. You're not willing to come over here and admit that this person is despicable? How much evidence do you need before you agree with me that I am right? And we say, your friends often will be there for you. They'll drag themselves over there into your muck. But the source within you never ever will join you in your lackful thoughts of discord. And so when you hold yourself in a place for a while. You get an indicator of the discord. Isn't that just the most magnificent guidance you can imagine? When you get off track from who you are, and not only do you, when you're getting off track from who you were before you were born, we're talking about you getting off track from who you are, from the being, from the expanded being that life has caused you to become. When you get off track from that, you don't feel good. Can you see how your life causes you to become more? And if you don't keep up with the more that you've become, you feel discord.